Hi, I'm Gemma and I'm here to interview Chris Kirkland about his honorary doctorate. So you've been a Liverpool supporter since you were a child. How did it feel when you heard that Liverpool wanted to sign you?
It was actually Gary McAllister that rang me. Come up to Liverpool. I was in a hospital till about 3 in the morning getting all the scans, and then went to Anfield the next day on deadline day, and I'd still not signed. I was still nervous. And Rick Parry, who was the CEO, said, "Look, we need to get this over the line. We need to sign." And he could tell I was nervous. And then he said, "Do you want to go down to the pitch?" So I went down to the pitch, and then I actually went and stood where I used to stand as a kid. And I remember just standing in the cop, and I could see all the old games, see my dad standing behind me, and then went straight back upstairs and signed.
So your dad won a bet about you turning out for England. Will you tell us about it?
He did. So I was actually an outfielder. I was never any good. I was always on the bench for my local team, Barwell. And it was when I was nearly 14 and the goalkeeper that played got injured, and because I was the only one on the bench, I saw the manager went, "Look, you've got to go in goal. We've got no one else." And that was my first game when I was nearly 14 in goal, and it was after that game my dad put a bet on me to play for England before I was 30. It was the day before the game for England that I got asked about it in a press conference about this bet, and I had no idea. I didn't know what it was. So I rang my dad after and I said, "They're saying this, is this like, did you do that?" And he went, "Yeah, I did." He says, "But it's not about that, it's about we're all coming up tomorrow and we're all going to support you." But I always get asked this, it must have been the proudest moment of your career, and it was an honour to play for England, don't get me wrong, but nothing will ever beat playing for Liverpool.
You've been very open and honest about your own mental health. What was the turning point in yours?
I mean, honestly, truthfully, probably just over 2 years ago when I come out about the addiction to painkillers. I think you just get to that point where you know you need to be honest and ask for help, or you're not going to be here anymore. Just signed for Bury, knew I shouldn't have signed for them, knew that it wasn't going to end well. Went away pre-season within Portugal, and my head was just all over the place, and I ended up standing on a roof and was going to jump off because I just couldn't handle the fact that the way I was feeling, and it was constant. While I was awake, my head was just racing. I couldn't make sense of anything. I thought, I can't have this. But then, luckily, I know my wife and daughter weren't there, but I felt a pull back as I was on the edge. And that was the moment I thought, right, you need to get help now. But knowing that everyone knows now, and the support I've had, and that my wife's got drug tests at home, she can test me anytime. All these things that we had to put in place this time to not fail again are working up to now.
So was your struggles then being a driver and becoming part of Make What You Go?
Trying to help. I got the help I needed it when I needed it the most, and still do to this day. So that's what it's about now for me, trying to give back as much as possible. Seeing the struggles as well that Lucy, our daughter, went through, as you do when you're a parent, and they go through different stages with anxiety and obviously pressures at school with exams and stuff like that. So seeing that as well, it was certainly something I wanted to get involved with. We all know that, particularly the stigma around lads and men not talking, and it's literally just about getting them to open up and talk. And one of the lads on the first day, I think he admitted that he'd thought about ending his life and stuff like that, and he'd never spoke about it before, and that was on the first day. So we did stuff with him. We did the school brought people in to do different arts and crafts, and I brought a coach in to do football with them. I was talking with them on walks, which is something I've always done when I don't feel great. So it's just about letting them know that there is help there, and there is certain coping strategies that they can do, find something that they enjoy doing, but just knowing that they can talk and knowing that they can ask for help when they need it is the biggest thing.
How do you feel about getting an honorary doctorate from Ed Hill?
Listen, I don't feel as though I deserve it, I must admit. I mean, there's people that do far more amazing work than I've ever done. So what I will do is, when I receive this award, this will be for people that won't get one of these, or won't get the recognition that they deserve, and probably never ever will do. So I'll receive this award, and I'm honoured to receive it, but it will be for everybody else as well that does amazing work that won't get the recognition they deserve.
But you've got to recognise the good that you do as well.
Yeah, I tried to. Listen, I tried to. I've never done it for that. I've never done it for praise. I've never done it to get awards or anything like that. I know that comes with it sometimes, but that's not what you set out to do when you do things like this. You don't think, oh, well, hopefully down the line I'll get an award. That's never been in my thought. But I know it's part and parcel. But like I said, this will be dedicated to a lot of people that I know and a lot of people that I don't know.